Hi everyone, this is Sri Lakshmi here, and we are back with another podcast episode for the Books of Impact series. And I am here with Puruja, who is one of the co-founders of Joy of Anubhava. And today we just wanted to have a discussion about empathy, which is one of the core skills that we look at while giving feedback to children, and something that we would like to build as an organization for ourselves as employees, and a skill that we hope that children also build. So Purvaja, my first question to you today is, um, why do you think empathy is an important skill in today's day and age? Of course, we've this is, like I said, this is one of our core skills, right? So why do you think it was important enough for us to take on and take on as a skill in our rubrics?
Yeah, great question, Sri Lakshmi. Hi, everyone. I think there is, no research out there that doesn't include empathy as a key skill for now and the future. I mean, let's just think of where we are. Given the pandemic, work from home and virtual remote work has become a mainstay, and it's probably going to be here for a while. And to understand how your fellow colleagues work, empathy is absolutely essential. We've also been reading a ton of research, even from mainstream MBA programs, even in INSEAD, about how empathy and how one needs to build empathy. Actually, being able to work with and live with people who have fundamentally different points of views is not a skill that is just built overnight. It doesn't come as a built-in function. I know that I wish I had built these skills much earlier on in school when I had the opportunity. So this is why I believe that it's a skill that we need to build in all of us as adults, and definitely a skill that children need to build from a very young age as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being able to really put yourself in another person's shoes is so it's so difficult, especially in times when you are under stress, right? And so it becomes even more important to learn things like emotional regulation and empathy. And I think all of these things, all of these skills go hand in hand. But we as an organization, we really value that skill of empathy. And whenever we are looking for books, we try and look for books where there are different characters, or the plots are different. So what are some of the books that you have read or about that could help build empathy in children?
I think two books come to mind immediately. The first is Wonder, because it's a wonderful, pun intended, but it's a wonderful book to build conversations around difficult topics such as disability. It's not an easy conversation to have, especially with an 8-year-old child, when you want to ensure the sensitivity in that conversation as well. The best part, I think, about Wonder is that it is divided into different chapters, narrated by different characters. So in a single book, you get stories from different points of view, which is very, very rare across different books. So I think Wonder is a book that has all of our hearts attached to it, and we've definitely seen children open up around this topic. And initially, while they might have felt uncomfortable in talking about this, towards the end, Augie Pullman was definitely their best friend, and they were rooting for him and how. Another book is Sadako and the Thousand Paper Cranes, and
Yes.
like choosing this book was a difficult proposition, because it's not. On one hand, it's a book that's been used to celebrate peace, but on the other hand, it is a book that results or ends with the death of a main character, and a concept such as death may be controversial to sort of include in a sort of group activity for children. However, Sadako became a soundboard for us to have conversations about how to live the best life possible and bring about something like peace. One of our participants, after reading the book, was so touched that she actually wanted to broker peace between the different groups in her apartment, and ended up having a pav bhaji party where she invited children from different groups who normally did not mix. And this shows you the power of literature, because it allows you to live through someone else's life, and it becomes a very non-judgmental, safe space to have discussions, which is why it can build empathy.
Yeah, I actually do remember that child, telling us. I mean, actually, not even the child. I think it was her dad who told us about the impact of that book. And that book, in general, in my opinion, like, I thought it ended too abruptly. But it's such a wonderful, like, powerful story that I think everyone kind of like resonated with Sadako, and like, right from the kind of person she was, like, whatever we knew about her, she was happy, she was lively, she had friends, and she loved to run, like she was an athlete. And slowly, to in the beginning to the end of the book, we learn about her disease and how she's struggling with that, and we really saw how all of them were so moved by that. Okay, so yeah, so we've talked about why empathy is an important skill, and we've talked about some books that that could help build and support this skill, so that children can look at the world through different perspectives, through protagonists in books. But the tough question is, how can we as parents or educators or just as adults model this for children? Like, what are some, like, practical steps that we can take to build this? Because obviously it's not a switch, right? Like, it takes consistent practice, like riding a bicycle, or learning math, or something. This is also a skill that you need to build. So how do we do this?
Yeah, no, this is a tough question. There's also a ton of research, so encourage everyone listening to actually read a lot about this as well. A couple of things come to mind. One is, I mean, I think it's obvious, but definitely read fiction, even if it seems like a silly thing for us to do as adults. But reading fiction really helps us form a way to have discussions around these topics, like I mentioned earlier. A second thing that we can do as educators is a concept of a morning meeting, where you can just have an open discussion with your students around how they are feeling. So everyone in the day actually has an understanding of how the other person is doing that day. And of course, it's a little awkward to have that conversation at the beginning. But if you as a teacher can actually model this and be honest and authentic with your responses, it might actually pave the way for your students to do that as well. And as parents, you can have this exact same conversation at home, and have difficult, tough, challenging questions in this meeting. If your child is coming and asking you questions about what they need to do, especially in terms of not an easy answer type of questions about whether they need to, how do they bring two people together who may not like each other very much, or how do they sort of respond to an impulse to maybe not understand someone else's point of view. Have those open conversations at home and talk about how you as an adult may have gone through the same questions, so that it doesn't seem like we are all that different in terms of the challenges that we face with the children as well. But yeah, Srilakshmi, I'm sure you have a couple of great ideas there. Do you want to add to this?
I mean, the one thing I can think of is I think to practice meditation and mindfulness, simply because empathy requires you to be present, in order to, like, really listen and hear the other person. So you need to be present, you need to be in the now, in the moment, in order to really put yourself in the other person's shoes and really understand where that where their perspective or their ideas or their feelings are coming from. um, so yeah, I would say practice mindfulness and meditation also. Even like bringing this back to books and reading, I think it's also important to have discussions around like moral or ethical dilemmas that books can support, like like a book can actually address like a bigger moral dilemma, um, or an ethical question. So have definitely have those discussions that arise through books, but also bring it back to daily life, conversations around daily life. Like, do you think it's okay for a poor person to steal? Like that's really a dilemma, right? um, yeah, so things like that, where there's I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that, and that's what helps develop empathy, because you put yourself in the poor person's shoes.
Yeah.
So, and that's not easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I really learned a lot from this discussion, Purvija, and it was great to bounce these ideas off each other. So yeah, thanks for joining me. And guys, for all of you listening, if you know of books that 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 help build this skill, that can help facilitate, that can like bring in some kind of discussion around bigger themes, ethical dilemmas or moral questions, or how we can see the world through another character's eyes, whether it's an animal or an object or a person, a human being, or an alien, anything really, let us know, and we'll check them out, and we'll shout you out also if possible. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.